Hello everyone, my name is Ali Janjua and today I'll be presenting my topic that's stop smoking and vaping. The reason that I chose this topic is that once, I think a decade ago, we'll say, not even that much time, smoking was just a traditional thing where old people maybe, or people close to retirement, or people at war used to just smoke cigarettes that used to somehow keep them active. But nowadays it has taken a face that's more leaned towards commercial and more leaned towards fancy faces, because of which it's attracting a lot of teenagers, youngsters, especially it's targeting college students and teenagers in high schools, because of which it's becoming a huge problem and students are getting diagnosed with diseases and problems that are not really that were not really considered as diseases that would be found in young people way before. So I'll start with what are cigarettes and vapes. So we all know, but a general definition is cigarettes are dried tobacco leaves rolled in a thin sheet of paper. When this the main component or the main dangerous thing in cigarettes is that when these dried tobacco leaves they burn, they produce a combustion process. Combustion is basically a reaction that occurs and produces carbon dioxide. But when it occurs with tobacco, it produces really dangerous gases like ammonia. That is so dangerous that it even makes plants. Like ammonia is basically in fertilizers, but overuse of fertilizers literally make plants go dead. And just imagine people who smoke actually inhale that whole thing in them. While vapes are the same thing, but they're like, because of nowadays we have everything in technology. Now cigarettes are introduced in e-vapes or e-cigarette forms. That is that they're just electronically operated and they're ran on juices, which makes it fancier. And as you can see, back then you wouldn't really find a lot of variety of cigarettes or anything. They were just traditional cigarettes that people used to just smoke. But nowadays they're fancy packaging that you can just see in cigarettes that really attracts youngsters and stuff. And when you come to vapes, they look so fancy and they're so attracting that people or students, and the thing I was talking about, teenagers, they find it really attracting and they actually get, more indulged towards these activities, which is honestly really dangerous. So we'll go to the next slide. Which is what are the harmful effects of smoking? Well, I'll actually start by telling you guys what harmful effects they are, and I'll give you an example just by your own life. So I'll actually ask you a question and I'll just expect you guys to say yes or no on it. Will you ever eat or even smell batteries?
No.
In your hand if you hold it. No, right? Will you ever drink toilet cleaner?
Nope.
No, right? No. Will you ever drink paint?
Never.
What about rocket fuel or just gas? What about poison?
No.
I don't think so.
No, right? Well, when you actually smoke cigarettes, cadmium is found in cigarettes that is contained in batteries. Ammonia is actually used in toilet cleaner that actually people who smoke inhale it. Rocket fuel is actually methanol, or a gas is methanol that smokers inhale. Poison is arsenic, that is literally a nicotine in cigarettes. While the same things are found in vaping as well, because of which, if you see a human body right over here, you can see every single part, literally, you can see how a cigarette, just a little stick of cigarette can damage you. It starts from strokes in your brain, addiction, which literally affects your eyesight, it affects your teeth, it causes you wrinkles, it constricts your blood vessels, and if you see in this disease, in this picture, it shows how many different diseases you get. Brain damage, lung cancer, bone and muscle constrictions, larynx cancers, sexual dysfunction. Literally damages every single part of your body. And why? Because it has all these different chemicals that I just mentioned to you guys. So we'll go to the next slide and see that why do people smoke actually? What is the main pleasure? What is the main thing why people actually smoke? Well, you can see this meme right over here. It's funny, but at the same time, it's really tragic that people just smoke to see what smoke looks like coming out of your mouth. People smoke because there's peer pressure. Friends telling each other that, hey, it's cool, why don't you try it? It's a social habit. People smoke just to stay in a social circle. People actually think, it's actually true that people think if they smoke cigarettes or vape, it's actually a form of showing that they're masculine, or they actually say, research says that people actually think or consider themselves more masculine, or they consider that it's a part of their manhood to smoke cigarettes or vape. It is a main misconception in college students that it helps them in studying, that when they smoke, they actually think that they're more smart, or it helps them keep themselves more active. Though at the same time, if you just go through all of these, it's actually damaging their sexual body organs, because of which it's not masculinity. It doesn't make them smart because it's damaging their nerves. So we'll go to the next slide. Solutions. Well, it's never too late. You can quit today, this hour, right now, and you can actually save yourselves. You can actually, how you can quit, eat and drink something that actually helps you just get distracted. Do something that you can actually think that can make you maybe just keep your mind away from it. You can ask your family and friends to support you. So with that, I'll actually wrap up my presentation, and I think that it's really important to not consider it as your masculinity. In fact, consider it as something that's damaging you. And I don't think anyone wants to pay to die, you know. So quit smoking and live a healthy life. Thank you.